start this. And kind of how Friday is when the market does pick up a little bit. Friday's the day that people kind of get burned on it, where it has a good morning, has a good pre-market, and it just finishes back flat from Friday the rest of the day. Um,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
and we've been playing the other way for a while, right? Like it opens up down 10% and then makes it way back up. Um,
Right, right.
so it's definitely different strategy on those kind of plays. But that's just something I noticed from watching your video and seeing you chart because I don't watch obviously X that thoroughly. So, um,
Yeah, yeah.
but I love the chart. It's in a great spot. Alrighty, let's do her.
Yeah, all right. So let's we'll start with the new stuff.
Yep, yep.
First one up is Momo,
That's not new. That's a repeat.
which we've had in before and kind of like it better now. It's sitting there at $5. It had fallen all the way to like 420, right? Well, actually almost, yeah, almost 412 or something like that. But one of the more bullish small caps in its sector, which is communication services. Momo is a social networking platform out of China,
DR.
and I'm definitely interested in the Chinese ADRs, and this is one that I think could really do something. So let me give you some strikes here. All right, so once it um once it got over $5, I saw this big spike in call volume on it. The uh, put to call ratio is 0.046, which is just microscopic. So pretty much all the option activity is um, is bullish on it. It has these weird option strikes that at like 738. I'm guessing they must have had a split or something. I'm not sure what causes that, but in any case, so
What do you
you have
see?
call.
Say that again.
It's 738 is the strike. It's in October.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't
And
got a split unless one's coming. I don't
yeah,
see
I
that
don't know.
either.
I mean I see this sometimes where you get these odd numbers for option strikes. I'm just not sure what exactly causes that. I'd have to look into it. But in any case, I do have that. So strikes over 7 and really no ask side put activity to speak of. So I think that they're pretty much done beating this down for now.
Yeah, I have six five. I like the 5 to 650 channel here.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's a good channel that you're kind of in right now. I mean, it dipped down to 4, but um,
Yeah, and at that point it dipped down to 4. I mean, you could say like, "Oh, that would have been the time to buy it," but the selling was just so overwhelming.
yeah,
It's just like you don't know
it opened at
when.
5 the next day. Like you would have had to bought such a gamble.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and the right day, it would have been such a gamble. And then yeah, and then it opened at 5. So even if you waited for confirmation, you were waiting for 5, but it did go to 650 that day, which is why we're playing this. We're basically playing this candle. It's figuring that out.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's gonna retrace back up there.
Yeah.
Um,
So top of this P, 4 low. Yeah, no top. Sorry, 440. Yeah, 450. Probably a little bit better than 5, but I would like again wait for 5. Five's an easy level to trade off of.
yep. All right. So next up for me is skills. SKLZ.
Never heard of that.
Is this a social stock like that has
Yeah,
gas?
yeah. They did. I don't know when they pumped it, but yeah,
So it
yeah, right
I
here.
mean
Yep.
it's just the whole chart is a is a disaster, but the flow on it is kind of undeniable at this point. And let me show you what I got here. Okay, so
Another S pack.
two, I've got 2C for 520, and then we get up into 253 for June, and then got sold puts at 2.
Yeah, anything under 2 it looks good. You just need this thing just needs a catalyst.
Yeah,
I played it
yeah, and
I played it down in here somewhere for change. Um, just because I liked it going into the ER. But at this point, I mean, this 140 that was a joke.
yeah,
Um, it just needs a catalyst. I would assume two is going to be volume profile pretty much on every time level.
yeah. So I kind of see it as a sort of minimal risk bottom play at this point. I mean, if it just collapses and wants to be a dollar stock or less, I mean, I guess that could happen. But I just with the options I'm seeing them buy on it, I think they're gonna salvage it a bit.
It's an S pack from Origin, so there is no bottom on it. If it
Yeah,
does break a dollar, I would walk away.
right. That's kind of where I'm at too.
I can give you a big list of a few that, well, Toon kind of posted most of them, but they fit they're all S packs, and when they get under a dollar, they just don't stop
Yeah,
without some news.
yeah, and that's where you're doing those trades of
Um,
72 cents to 80
I
cents or something.
yeah yeah no, that's a Pixie, and I miss Pixie. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's another topic, but Pixie was legit hitting my scanner every day for 20%. I was like, oh yay, 4% move, 4 cent move. I'm not doing it. Um, and then
So go ahead.
and then that day I just like, all right, I'm cleaning up I took off like 15 stocks that day, and it was in that one of them, and then
Yeah,
it goes 200%. I'm so pissed. All right,
that's hilarious. So this next one is one I've been trading this for months, and I'm just ready for other people to get in on it. OPAD, and so OPAD is a real estate
I don't have
stock.
a chart.
It back in September just had this insane euphoric run and just got kind of crushed, and I've been trading it I traded it from 4 to about like 525, and then did it again, and then caught it a move to 6, and then I haven't really been in it since then. But now that it's here at $5, definitely interested, especially given the flow I'm seeing. So the strikes I have on OPAD. Well, for one thing, and I'm gonna actually show. I'm gonna share this. When you see option volume spike at a particular price, so this is the OPAD price with option volume, and you can see when it gets around $5, you just get this big push on it. So that definitely had me interested, and I've got leaps to 10. I have July 750, and I've got quite a bit of sold puts at 5 for June as well. So I think that it could definitely pull back, given that it went up 11%. It's going to kind of depend on the market conditions and all that. But for me, if I can get this at 450, I'm pretty happy with that for a move towards 6.
Like it. Yeah, we already had lines on here at 4 and 775.
Oh, nice.
775 is still. Yeah, you made me chart real estate months ago. Um,
Yeah.
775 is bottom of volume profile. on our new and improved FlexGrid multiple time frame indicator chart setup extravaganza. 5 and 10 stand out on volume profile across all time frames. Um, so I'm with you, especially in current conditions. Under 5 is probably the best entry, but there's range to 657 with ease.
And it does it's playable for options. I would if I get options on it, they'll be for June. I just want the I want the time. I mean, this is a trade that can take several days, so
So
not
last
looking to really push it with a week.
last week was ERs. This week we are like 3 for 3 on S packs. Well, I guess one was ADR. We're 2 for 3 on S packs.
All right, very good. AI.
Love it. They're way down. They're like 17. Yeah,
So
let's say they're like
yeah,
17.
AI is one of those on Friday that just kind of had the big wake up call and shook off about 4 days worth of selling. So we're gonna kind of see what the whales want to do with it here. And all right, so I've
Even
got
that. Even that.
61720C is a contract that stands out to me, and 61725C and 2250C. Sold puts are putting this at 520 1750. So and then 15 as well. So if it wants to go, like if it goes under 1750, I think it'll bounce back fairly quickly from that. So anything between 17 and 1750, I think is a pretty good spot to add for me. But I don't even know if we're green tomorrow, it's going to go up another 4 or 5% anyway. But so it might be under 18 is what we want to add. I'm not sure.
It went with the market. It looks like just in general on the chart. I'm a little mindful of the ER coming up. Um,
Yeah.
I think playing back to 20 is it though. Not you don't really have anything established. I mean, 17's your best spot, but that gets. I mean, that's real thin back to 20, right? Like especially if you could go to 12. Um, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking for a
Yeah. This
pullback.
one,
At best, I'd look for a pullback mid candle here, 1650.
we've had a lot of success with this and back in its kind of
This is what I'd
before
like.
the collapse.
Yeah. No, I love this. I love this, and it like if you look at it on the bigger picture, like it was $50, and that's probably what it's going to be on most time frames. Ooh, 20 stands out so huge though. Um, yeah, I'm
And
I'm 1650 to 20 on this P. You got to kind of let. Um, yeah, and it's gonna be like a day trade scenario until we get through ER. I
yeah,
wouldn't be holding I
yeah,
wouldn't be holding on to this. When is this date? I'll give you the date. I mean, we have a couple weeks, so 6/1,
yeah. It's an
6/1.
option day trade for me. I mean, or you could do shares too, and I'll probably do some of both. But
I like shares on these because you can put 1,700 bucks into them and you get a couple $100 back, and it's pretty low risk usually. And then
yeah,
they can run, like you can get a good run out of these. Um,
well, the with
Roblox.
options you can put 400 and get 200. But
Hey,
I'm with you though.
hey, Roblox was. I don't know. It moves a lot slower.
Yeah,
Like news is if it knifes $4 and you lose 400, it's got to be on news.
right.
That's the only way that's happening. Um, but both are successful. Yeah, 1650 for me though, and I think you'll get it. To be honest, I think you get it. Um,
Yeah,
what were we on the open? 15, 15.2. That's the thing. This thing has some range. Yeah, low 16s even. Confirmation on the way up. Try to buy the dip here. When was your strikes? I'm sorry.
Oh, June up to 20,
2020. That was it. What
and
about
then
that
25,
22?
25 well, in
Okay.
July.
That's the trouble area on this chart. P is clearing 26. It's pretty. Once you get through like 20 to 26, this will have some good range, back into the 30s.
Yeah, yeah. My take on it is that we'll test that, probably fail, and then the point at which, like, I wouldn't be that interested in trading it from 23 to 26 over and over, but once it actually breaks through that 26, then we're in a new setup, and then you start to open up the 30s,
Yeah,
and that's when the market itself kind of recovers a bit. That's what'll happen with that one.
yeah.
Um, all right,
It's been quick out of the 20s, when it does get there. But yeah,
my next one, I think is going to be a home run um, for us,
you ain't never said that. Or get your pencil out.
and it's in basic materials. It's CenX, CENX.
I did see you had this up in that video, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Though that was strategic on my part because I'm going to talk about it in my live stream too.
I like
All
it.
right, so this is an aluminum stock that is just massively oversold, and as AA has started to turn around, this one will follow and has a huge gap fill, and I think it's going to hit an uptrend for that'll go for weeks. And timing exactly when that happens is not really what I do, but I think that we're gonna turn this one around, and you'll see it get back up to 20.
I'm gonna put 12 there.
So strikes that I have on it.
I'm 12-16 is where I'm at.
Here.
He's probably gonna have
All
15,
right.
but
So
I
we had
like
a
RTL.
massive spike in um, volume in options on the call side after it when it got to, like, let's see, like 12. Yeah, over 12, and then it got to like 12:30 and 12:50. That's when they were buying. In terms of what they're buying, I've got June 13, 14, and then into September 18. Well, actually August 18, 22, September 2022, and the sold puts on it are sitting at 12 and 13, and those are monthlies as well. So for June, they'll be for June.
It sounds like there's a lot of increased activity, Batman. Um, yeah, we've kind of landed soft. This kind of landing you like to see. We had a whole week, and last week you guys traded the market last week with me. One, two, three, four, five. That was your week last week, and that does not look like what the market did last week. So I like that it's doing its own thing on the $12 level here. I even got a little greedy and took 16, and Professor Strikes cleared that easily. So, um, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep, and that's it for the new stuff because I think we have a lot of good ones already on there. So those are my ads, and then we can
Perfect.
talk about
You
where
put
What
we're
are
at.
you what are you looking at for an entry on that one?
talking to me?
Either.
I like anything down here in the 12. Sub 12 would be gold.
Yeah,
I don't think you're getting it. So low 12s.
yeah.
It'll be in my notes. Low 12s.
Low 12s. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, this is. I mean, even if he's on the low end, I'll still put the $1,200 in, take the $1,400 out. Still do
Yeah,
that.
and it's not one that's gonna just leave without you in the pre-market or anything like that. So I think you
Yeah.
you can be patient, and I'm looking to trade this one for weeks probably, kind of like I did with like LAC and a couple other of those.
Yeah, I mean, we might get a $12 bounce. I just don't think you're gonna get this 1180, 1150 again. We'll see. What I really like about this is, again, it did not do what the market did last week. It did its own thing.
Yeah.
It didn't have super high, super low days. It just kind of accumulated volume, very similar across every day. Yeah, I like it. That's a good one, P.
Yeah, and they beat earnings last time, and they had kind of mediocre guidance, but again, it's a material stock. It's not like tech where they're just going to keep pummeling you for that. They do tend to ease up on these. So I'll be looking at aluminum prices. I could get back into that. Might have some trades on AA for like option day trades, but this is kind of the one I like for a swing. All right, so then
Love
getting into our our list. List had a great day Friday, and
it.
a lot of stocks did, but our stuff even outpaced a lot of what was out there. I think we really kind of nailed it with our large caps that we picked, especially the ones that got crushed on earnings, like Upstart and Beyond Meat, Roblox, Peloton. Just love the moves on those. And
Especially with the cliff note of let the ER happen and play the flush.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
it was perfect on so many of those setups. I mean, it worked on the share side. I don't know how it wouldn't have worked on the option side unless that
Well, okay, so
IOIV thing.
I had Beyond Meat puts through earnings, but I bought them at open, and so the stock like plummeted all day, and then I played some through earnings, and then in pre-market it started to just wake up, and I actually bought if I call up the chart here,
Which one?
that Beyond Meat. So like on it made this really crazy move on oops when it oops let me
Thursday morning.
yeah. So okay, so Thursday morning, it dipped all the way down to like 1860, and so I was like,
Yeah.
damn, these contract, I'm gonna make about $1,000
Oh
on that.
yeah, your puts. Yeah.
And yeah, and then it started to wake up. So I bought some shares at 19 pre-market because I'm like,
Nice.
well, shit,
Nice.
I'm gonna hedge this a bit, and then I dumped my puts at open. I made like $300 on that, but then the shares just went
How
crazy.
how long did
All
you stay
20.
in?
So I stayed in for that morning spike up to like 28, and then I got out because I kind of saw the RSI was just way overheated,
This
and
whole
then
thing.
I got out there.
This whole
But
this
yes,
whole thing, huh?
that's an example of um, you know a hedge using shares on puts. It was a small put position, but I was like, knowing Beyond Meat, I'm like, they're just gonna run this thing up and let it recover a bit. So I went ahead and did that, and that's one of the advantage. Like when you know a stock, you trade it a lot. Um, you can kind of spot some opportunities. So that's how I played those earnings. Kind of unconventional, but it worked out for me.
I like that you held it through a halt too.
I know. Yeah.
I hate holding shares through halts.
Yeah.
I guess these ones react a little different though. Like people were actually buying. There's a lot of buying going on. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so
It's a
let's
stock
just
promo. All right. Yeah.
let's
We'll go through 'em.
let's start there. But do you want to keep Beyond Meat on the list?
I do. Not because I necessarily think that
Good God, we gotta get rid
it's
of that.
gonna go. I think it's gonna pull back quite a bit. And I actually in one of my videos I posted, I talked about that. But I want to keep it just because if you're an options trader, there's opportunities on both sides for us. If you don't like to play puts, you can just kind of wait, but it's gonna bounce around this zone and make some sustained moves. So really good for trading options.
Yeah, I think I mean, so this if this thing is at 30 and really I mean, either that's the floor or it needs to go back and check the 2025. One of those two.
Yeah,
Because we're
and
in
I'm all
no.
over it at 20. It The way I saw it bounce back during that pre-market session when it went under 20, 20 is a great spot if it does fall back there.
Yeah, yeah. The most established support is at 40, 45, and we're just way under that. So it needs to form a new level somewhere. I mean, it has 3, 4 psychological levels to deal with there.
Yeah, and it's one of many of these growth stocks that's just really exciting right now. As it got crushed, you just kind of see what it wants to do as the market considers turning favorable.
I think those are probably going to be some of the better day trading opportunities over the course of the next few months, summer, um, just in general. AMRS, assume yes.
Yes, yeah.
Watch
This was
Professor's videos, opening videos, because he basically laid this out for everybody on Friday.
yeah, that what a move. Gosh, that was exciting.
And you still have strikes
And
to three.
it looks like it's going to continue. I mean, the 3C is the number, and that's for June. So I think we're gonna get to that, and then you start to get into the leaps on this are it's kind of like you have to double check that you're even looking at the same stock because they go all the way up to 15 in 2024. So this is kind of one of those long-term, lot of potential kind of stocks. But I'm not saying to hold it through that, but it's a company that I think has a lot of promise in terms of what they do.
Yeah, well, yeah, this thing gets back to 5. There's such a gap up. It's just been beaten down. Chemical company, correct?
Yeah, food additives mostly.
Yeah, yeah. What the hell? All right, what's next? Whoa, that's not next. Bros.
Yeah, I wish I would have played those earnings. Damn. So Bros, I think will have some good range and should recover a bit more. Let me see what they're buying on it.
That's a nasty gap.
All right.
Oh yeah, I said this on Friday. The 28 to 35 gap.
Yeah,
Huge.
that's kind of that matches the strikes up to 35 for July.
Oh, I already got it wrote down. July, you said? I'll just write that down.
Mhm.
All right. Perfect. Continuations are always easy. C, D, E, mining. Below trend here. Let's pull up. Way below trend here.
All right.
Get over here.
10%. Yeah. Kind of similar setup to what we've been talking about. I've noticed that the whales they're kind of wanting to buy themselves time. I'm not quite seeing the urgency on it, but 4C, 5C for June, and given that it has monthly options, not entirely surprising that they would go out to there. It has leaps to 7 and 10 too, so that's kind of where we sit. Gold, the gold ETF might be in kind of a double top right now. But I'm not sure. I'm not enough of a TA person to really say that. I think, but why don't you call it up? Call up GLD. It's ETF.
GLD or GOLD? GLD?
GLD. GOLD is a a
Ticker.
stock, but the
Okay.
ETF is GLD.
You can call that a double top. That's a big double top. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So so yeah, gold. I'm still bullish on gold, um, and we'll kind of wait and see. But yeah, I'll go and keep CDE for now.
165 on that GLD, Professor.
Mm.
That's your that's like your break to the downside if it's gonna happen. All right, CDE.
Yeah, if you're gonna trade gold, keep an eye on futures. Um, they rarely just run counter to that, so that's always a something you can look at.
Um, Jesus, this chart's ugly. CENN.
Let's see. So this one was
I still like this.
one of yours.
Yes.
Naked is the original.
That was it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's kind of interested in this 617 5C that they're buying on Friday.
Jesus.
That's
a
kind
bit
of
much.
that's
That's a bit
crazy.
much.
Yeah, I know. Um, but what that tells me when it's I mean this used to be a meme stock. I don't know. It doesn't seem to have that same
No,
meme.
it's like a battery company or some shit now.
Yeah. They don't need it to get to 5, but if it were to make a move like have a day where it's like goes 20-30%, those contracts would start to get a lot of attention and they could double their money in those. So yeah, I mean if the market's going to kind of go risk on, this is one that I think is worth watching.
I like it because you get easy. I mean, the price is decent, and you get those 10-20 cent moves on it. And lately,
Yeah.
we've been to the green side, which the market doesn't have a lot of that going on. So to see it here below 2, I like it. I think 170 is in my notes. I'll just update my notes. We'll keep it on here though.
Cool.
Especially, I mean, 5. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just making a note. All right.
All right. What's next?
CEFVI meme.
Oh, the Trump stuff.
Yeah. If we're gonna kill something, that would be it. I mean, I don't really. It's in a great spot still, but.
But yeah, I don't have clarity on a
All right, let's just kill it.
catalyst to push
Yeah.
it. So
I mean, you're kind of waiting for Twitter. If you watch these or into these or anything like that, you're kind of waiting for the Twitter sympathy fallout in some regard.
yeah, I think Twitter's about to get smacked tomorrow.
I think they're going. Yeah, they're going the wrong way fast.
Yeah, because
How
you
do
got people tweeting about like non-disclosure agreements and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Oh yeah. It's all horrible. Yeah, it's. I mean, the whole thing that he wants out and.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. No,
And then there's the factor of if of Tesla, like the whole margin call thing. If he's if he's using his Tesla shares, there's a certain level that it would fall to where he'd be in some. I mean, he's not really trouble, but
Yeah, no, just make it different.
Yeah.
Different percentage, right?
Mhm.
No, I got more on that, but we'll talk about it when we get to what it's relevant with.
Yeah.
DIDI. ADRs.
Yeah. You want that on there.
Okay. He said you want that in there. That means trade that this week for me. Hold on. Let me
Yeah, DD, kind of the same setup. It's I think they have that vote coming up.
Yeah. No, they have the vote to vote.
Right, the vote to vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whales are. I mean, if they're going up to 4C out till August. They're taking just taking a shot at that, and it'll do that if it gets through all this.
Yo, 100%. Yeah. No, if the first vote or the second vote, well, if the first vote, if they vote to vote to delist, it's going to probably fall dramatically again. But if either vote votes to stay on the market, this thing will shoot up. Like, yeah, $3 probably real quick, day or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sinclair. This mother.
Yeah.
Always
Oil I think is going to do really, really well. And I've just kind of gotten
the hang of
you
the
sort of get
chart.
a stock and just kind of get a feel for it. And
Yeah,
this has been a great one for me.
you love
So
that.
let me give you some numbers here. So now that we're up at 46, um, I would look to re-enter this on basically the pullbacks within the uptrend, but in terms of where it's going, 617.55 stands out to me, and then you get up into 60, and this is the same in the fall, and same kind of story for a lot of oil stocks, but this one's definitely worth keeping.
It's crazy that move this thing's made. Another great find. DNA. This has options, huh? Yes, it does.
Um,
We're keeping it, but I was just curious what you.
yeah, for sure. So it's one of those that pops up on that options dashboard, every day for healthcare, and looking to get. I kind of see. I mean, it's a little hard to say with this, but 3 to 4 is kind of the channel it seems like the whales want to get into, just based on for July 4C and June 3C.
Yep, I like it. Yeah, and I'm still under 2 buy or under 3 buy to play it back to that channel that you're talking about. So I love it.
Yep.
Donut, another gem.
Yeah.
This 1439 I got, it just loves it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see a test of 16 in the future for this one. And 16 and 18 are the strikes that stand out through the summer.
Yeah, it just has got to get through this zone right here, 1450, 15, whatever you want to call it. 16, 18, summer. Sorry, taking notes. I move that over there. D, and I need a T, bam. DWAC, we're going to kill 8, that 4x4.
Oh, yeah, let me see what I got.
Or 8x8, sorry. Was this IPO? This was IPO.
Well, they're through earnings, and I'm not. I'll go ahead and kill it. I'm not seeing enough. It'll probably go up now that I'm doing that, but yeah, we can trim that.
Callaway ELY. Looking great on this side if you have 25 or better. 24 or better, really.
Yeah, I think it's a good time of year for a golf stock.
Agreed. Well, they just went through earnings and it wasn't bad.
Yeah. So that is what I have. I have 617.25, and then 520, 22, 50. Just kind of a classic walk it up kind of scenario. Leaps to 30.
Yeah, and our channel was sub 20 was the note, and the ER play it back 220. Now that we're around ER, we're back into the channel, which is I have 1982 or $20, and then 2730. Perfect setup. Yep. It's kind of a slow motion one.
Yeah.
Frey.
Yeah, Frey finally made a move. Yes. Yeah, I want to keep Frey. 8C, 9C stand out to me. Leaps to 11. 10 might be a problem.
Yeah, and I have volume profile 924 and the 850 line. So on the share side, especially since we're through ER, it's a good time to add under 8, play back to 9 or 10.
Yeah, I like like the sector for sure. Yeah, Fro, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna keep Fro.
It was in my I literally had charts. I was like, I'm just putting notes down because these are charts that Professor plays and they're in the right spot um, on my end. Yeah, off that 740 line we have. Still going back to 10 here.
Yep, the 10C is the one for June, July. And it just I mean in the sector and like the whole geopolitical sphere, a marine shipping oil stock is something that you want to look at for sure.
Yeah, again, not the fastest mover, but I remember we were looking at this like, let's just say 2 weeks ago, and even getting the opportunity to buy it below 8, we really didn't think we were going to get. So
Yeah.
um, it gave it. And here we are. Fubu. That's no brainer.
Yeah, I mean this just
Matter of time.
that sector dominates the small caps in terms of option flow just every single day, even when it's red. So
Well,
yeah.
I mean, there's three choices. Two of them are kind of dominant. Like either this is going to get acquired down here, or they're going to get some good news and it's going to start making its way back up and figure out where it should be. You know, even if it's below 10, 6, 7, $8.
Yeah.
That's kind of the third option would be that they just go complete shit and the company folds. But the other two are, you know, highly more likely.
Yeah, risk reward. I mean, our risk is kind of low down here to me. Just don't oversize or go in all at once. And I don't play options on this one.
I was going to ask you, do you assume, is it wrong for me to assume that when the flow read does come in on this, it's just going to be quick and overwhelming? Like you're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I mean,
It's going to just happen.
it has good volume and option flow every day, but you know, to see like a massive spike on it would definitely stand out to me. So it would be something I would notice.
But it's not going to be built through time. It's not going to be like them. It's going to happen rather quickly. Or do
Yes. Yeah. It'll be like a after hours move or something, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting at. Givo.
Yeah, I like Jibo.
Same as
Let me see here.
Especially if you have like 5.
Five's the number for July.
Yeah.
So I mean there's not a lot of like urgency on those higher strikes, but there's a really strong floor on it at 3 and very nice activity for 4C as well in June.
Yeah, no, I like the stock, and I like that they already kind of have pretty loaded news for next couple of years. Can only get better. GGPI.
Let's see. Yeah, Flow's kind of all bullish on it. The weird thing about this one, a lot of the activity is not where it's like where it is right now. It's kind of up to 15 to 20C or late summer. So it's like they're front loading for something.
Yeah. I think they're just holding the announcement off because the market sucks. 15.
Definitely seems to be a good spot. I mean, this is a zone it was in back in February.
Yeah, I have like I think I'm a little actually I think I'm a little under here on my average, to be honest with you. At 1050, but yeah,
moves on it like in April. Did you trade that?
I just kept,
That big.
yeah, but I kept it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't let it go. Yeah, no, I just held them because I didn't think I was gonna get to this level back ever again. Right? Like
Right, right.
I got like yeah, I think I have like 1050s or whatever. Um, so when it went to 13, I was like, all right, we'll base out at 10. We'll base out at 11 or 12, but my entries are gonna be really safe now for the real move when it comes.
Hmm.
Because I'm still playing PSNY to change. I'll wait for the ticker change. But no, it just kind of leaked out, and I mean, I'm fine with what I have. Um, it's an S pack, so 10's kind of the baseline, right? Like
Yeah,
this one has a lot of hype around it, so I don't think you're getting the 950s. Um, yeah, it's kind of this for me. This is just this is the long term play right now for me. That I have the most trust in. Um, and the level isn't, you're not going to get huge fluctuations until the news comes, and then yeah, 15's probably you're waking up to it. I mean, that's just how that's
yeah,
going to go. You're going to wake
yeah.
up to the news, and it's going to go. Um, it kind of did that when they announced, yeah, back here. It kind of did that when they announced that this is who they were dealing with. No, I didn't. This is when I found out about it, and then it's like, well, all right, make a note and add when you can in tens, and um, yeah, I missed a couple moves, scale and scale out moves again, but I just again I didn't think I was gonna get my average again. Um,
Right.
so, but yeah, Groupon.
Yeah, Groupon. I didn't quite expect to be trading it down here, but I kind of like it better right now than I did. 18 and 20 C are the numbers that they're buying up since this sell off.
I like it. I'm with you. Like I didn't like it before, and now it's in a great spot. The range is even better. Um, I didn't read and I will. I'll go over the ER to see if it was horrible, but um, yeah, yeah. I mean, at this price, it's how can you not trade it?
Right, right.
Halliburton.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to take any oil off. I think we're good. I had to stop myself from adding more, but they'll all kind of move similar. Yeah, so Halliburton, that 40 break is what I'm after.
Yeah, I'm with it. With it. Jimenez.
Should
Yeah,
be a good week for semiconductors if things hold up. So that 10 to 12 channel is what I'm after, and that's kind of what the strikes are telling me.
like it. Did a good job with that one too. You could play the ER flush.
Yeah.
HL.
HL. Uh, oh, mining stock. Nah, I'll take it off for now. I think it'll probably be all right, but there's nothing overwhelming in the option flow. We have some other miners already.
HYMC.
Yeah, we should keep that. Gonna go back to 2.
131. Yeah, the 131's been great. I've had a couple dips under it, but not much. IMAX.
Yeah, IMAX for me is the move I'm looking for is uh, $20 into the fall. So yeah, I'll keep it.
Okay, IMAX. Just updating notes on most of these. Nigeria.
Earnings Tuesday.
We should keep it then.
Yeah, we'll keep it for sure, especially if we get a flush on it.
20. LAC.
Yeah. So uranium, or not uranium, sorry, lithium. Um, just we could play up a run similar to last time based on what I'm seeing. 30, 35, 40, staggered throughout the summer.
35 or 40. That
Yeah,
sounds like 50%.
it can do it. Done it before.
Why wouldn't you trade that?
Yeah.
Jesus. Laser.
Yeah, it gave the move that was well, I mean, interestingly, like the flow on it was really strong during the whole sell off, and it finally kind of gave that move. But I'm definitely looking at it to get to 12 and then to 15 in June.
So you want to keep it?
So I like it down here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we want some LiDAR exposure for sure.
Lemonade.
Everybody should be trading this one.
I think so too. All right. Yeah.
Phenomenal. The whole the flow setup here is 30 is the number they want to take it back to, and probably July is what the strikes are where they're concentrated. They rolled out of June and on Friday, and they got into July calls on it.
This was one of my notes. Strongly recommended just to wait for the ER flush and play it back to 20. Uh,
Yeah.
it like gave you the lazy Susan 3 days at 16. Um, and if you got in it the first day, it took you to 19 the first day, but now we're above 20 again, which we turned that line. So I like it off the 20 line now, just the psychological level. But
Yeah.
it's easy from the share side, and it's easy from the option side. It sounds like so.
Yes. Yeah,
Check,
for sure.
check that one out, people. Um, M. I already know. It's got to stay there.
Yeah. Yeah. Should keep him.
Yeah, it's in a good spot.
25.
They have ER soon. I mean, next month soon, but MViz.
Yeah, similar deal to laser.
Yep.
I think we'll keep it.
My preferred, just because I can get a better position. I'm still waiting for the run like the last time you called it, though. That was a gem.
Yeah.
Like 3 to 5 or something like that. It was good. Nat?
Yes.
With you.
Keep Nat.
That's a setup trade. You just wait for it to come to you. It's really easy to trade.
Yeah, it'll heading back to 3 for sure.
OEC?
Let me see here.
Electric time frame.
OEC kind of gave me the move I was after. I don't.
Solid.
It has a pretty big gap fill potentially, but there's nothing in the flow that's standing out like it did when I first called it.
He got his mid candle, and he liked it. Play.
Yeah, great spot for play.
Yeah, I love it. Sub 40. Piton.
Yes.
All these ER flushes, man. We were super genius last week on that. Not only calling the strategy, but what's on the hot list, like is Roblox Piton. They're just all great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Piton is going to continue to get interest from people, and I actually in my live stream the other day I talked about just $12 that the whales were not going to give that up, and they didn't.
They defended it well. 15.
Yeah.
It's 25. It's 25% off 12. I mean, it is what
Right.
it is. It is what it is, man. Then they still, from the business side, they still are kind of going through some things and have not announced the TV yet. Most people, you guys know, I go to the gym a little bit. Um, Most people I know that have the bike don't even know about the TV. So it's it's going to open a new window because if you're working out with a lady that has the bike and is talking about, I always forget their stupid trainer's name, but that likes this or that trainer. Well, when the TV comes out, they're going to be able to afford that TV and be able to use that trainer and be in that community. Um, so I really see that being as a catalyst to getting these guys not back to the 180 level, but 40s and 50s or somewhere
Exactly.
in there.
Same deal as like you look at Upstart or Coin, like these stocks that are the punchline on Twitter for everybody. I mean, yes, they're beaten down. Yes, it's all everything's all bad, whatever. But when they fall that much, a 20% move is nothing.
Yeah,
And you can trade that, and that's what we're after.
I posted that chart for that this weekend because of some of the losses. But if something drops 60%, 100% move isn't going to even get back a lot of it. it
Right.
takes it
Yeah.
takes a substantial move to get it back when you get above like 30%. It starts multiplying. Um, the 90% is 900% to get back. You need
Yeah, it's the euphoric bull market, like to me was kind of hard to trade. It's why I traded oil so much back then because it was down, and I actually had some safer entries, like buying calls on Upstart when it was $380, and the weekly is $400. I mean, that's kind of dicey, but when it's down here, there's a lot more range for you to play on that.
yeah, and then smaller move, bigger percentage, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
um, rad.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I still like the math on them, even if they go to the acquisition side. Um, Way undervalued at this price, in my opinion. Roblox.
Yes, same deal as these other ones.
Do you think we're gonna have a little bit of a cooling off on this, or is this just gonna
Yeah.
continue? Because I really think this got pulled back a little bit.
Oh, right. No, I for sure. That was my read on Beyond, Upstart. Like, I'm not looking to enter calls tomorrow. I'll just say that on those.
The 28 level is what I'm looking for now. Um, Maybe 27, but 28, I'm looking for a pullback there. A strong confirm off 30 would be great. But chasing 30, like buying Monday 33, thinking it's just going to go to 40, I think that's like a horrible, horrible idea. Uh,
Right. Yeah. And I mean, uh, if we're in a bear market and all that, and so these big spikes, these big green days are kind of characteristic of that, and I don't think we're quite through that yet. So pullbacks and strings of red days and all that are still going to happen, and they're just going to set you up for that next move.
yeah. Well, and this could trade sideways as well, right? And just eliminate options for the week.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah,
That could happen as well. RDW for space play here.
yeah. I'm liking space this week, so we'll keep that.
This I think had ER. Is this Friday ER?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday ER. So this will be hopefully the same setup as we played last week. It was just one of the last ones. I'm surprised this is down here where it's at. I posted a
Yeah, me too. I was kind of looking at it to be in sort of like a 5 to 7 or 5 to something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think it would go. Well, once these small caps go, there's sometimes no end in sight. That just
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
This is another SPAC as well. Oops, wrong list. Um, REI.
Ring Energy.
Yeah, it's one of the crappy energies. It's on support on my end.
Yeah. So 5C stands out. That's a nice move. Or 10 to 5C.
Yeah, let's keep it. These are the crappy energy is crazy because when we started playing them, I kind of had an order of which ones were better, and that shuffles every week.
Yeah.
One will stand out better 1 week, and the next week this one looks good, and it's just very very weird. That looks the best right now with a four. Root.
Yes.
Yeah, I like this. This is
I like it for the same reasons I like lemonade.
yeah, say Lemonade's little brother. You're just trying to get a discount.
Yeah.
Red Robin.
Yeah, I mean I guess my thesis on restaurants has been delayed. But that was a pretty steep sell-off. But yeah, I still like it.
I'd assume Shaq then too.
Yeah.
Oops.
I wouldn't rush into them, but I just kind of want to see what they do. The one I would probably trade is Play this week, but these others I think I just want to see how they react.
What am I doing? Is it GB and not Red Robin? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, and then Shaq is. Sorry, my dyslexic kicked in a little bit there. SDC.
Yeah, we can trade this.
It's on the backside of earnings. Got the flush.
What's your floor? Is there a floor on this?
Two.
Two is your floor, and
Oh,
it's
floor. Sorry. No, nothing. Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. this. Where do we get to? Yeah, this $1.19. I mean, I would. It's another one. If it gets below $1, it's going to be in trouble. But you kind of like that's the gamble is or the risk is how low do you buy it?
Yeah, I would definitely I would take a risk on it for the dollar psych to hold if we do sell off more.
Yeah.
But yeah, run to two. Two's the number in options.
Options. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. So yeah, playing your percentage and. But again, if you can buy it at $1.20, you could sell or $1.40, you could sell it at $1.75, and you're not doing bad. You're
Yeah.
you're you're 20%, and that's more why I like to keep these in rotations, especially when you get the peripheral buy red setup. It does go to 120. Then you just got to play it back to 150. You don't even got to get the full move. Um,
Yeah.
they did report though. I didn't read that report either. There was a lot going on last week. SDC, New Hollis, we're already in. Sweet. Sting. My God.
Yeah. A gem.
Yeah, I got
Love
a
it.
candle. I keep going the wrong way.
Yeah, these some of these oil plays like this are just have that kind of stratosphere potential now that they've broken through. Just look for pullbacks.
Upstart.
Yeah, I'll be trading that every day probably.
Um, kind of wanted to ask you because I called it, and I don't want to be leading people astray. But I Friday at 25. Is it Friday? I was like, this is a good time to short this. Where's it? It's got to be RTL. And I went to look at the options, right? It had to be
Mhm.
off RTL, and maybe it wasn't Upstart. No, it wasn't Upstart. I'm thinking of a different stock. Anyways, it it was something that was $25. Damn it! I'll have to go look and check. But I was like, this would be a good time to short this, and it kind of fell the rest of the day. Oh, it's affirmed.
Oh yeah.
I'll wait till I get there because it's on my list. All right, sorry.
Okay.
VFF.
Um, nah, I missed on this one. Let's get rid of it.
Okay, the only red play Friday, Professor. Only
I
one.
know. Yeah, this got wrecked. 0.96 drop.
Oh, workhorse.
Yeah, I it, I want that on there because I always forget to trade that, and I always want to.
That's a good one. Still always looming that UPS deal's looming. So WWR.
Oh yeah, the wastewater.
Waste of fucking time.
Yeah, really didn't expect it to be down here. Two's the level, so similar to SDC. I think we can trade
Okay.
towards 2.
That stock gets me every time. I don't want to talk about it. Zillow.
Yeah, real estate overall is something to trade. Open, OPAD, Redfin,
Kind.
Z. Those are the name. Kind. I always forget Kind.
I
Sorry.
always forget Kind. All right.
You know why I forget Kind? Because the whale site's messed up and they categorize it in as a tech stock.
Oh,
And I don't know
really?
why they. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I like is the open door. I just the company wide. I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
I do like that one. Yeah. So AFRM. We'll start there on my end. We're on my side now, I believe.
Yeah. The amount of people who must have gotten wrecked buying puts on this, just
Yes.
on the.
Explain that to me, because Friday at open when it started to fail, I was like, that'd be a good time to buy puts, and it went down.
Oh,
to
that
20.
was. Yeah, but a lot of people played puts through earnings and got
Yes.
hammered. But
Yeah, so I went and looked
yeah,
at the chart, and it didn't look good though. Like the chart on the option side didn't look like it would have been profitable to play puts.
well,
Like they were down 70%.
yeah, I mean they opened down that, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but if you played weekly puts on that opening flush, you would have gotten a big spike in premium just on that volatility, the IV alone, because the IV dropped way down, and then as it took that steep decline, the IV pops back up, and you have to be very fast with that.
Yeah, yeah. This is
But
what I'm. So even if you
there was a
nail
trade.
the bottom here, I got May 20th 120 or 21.5 puts up. So even if you nail the bottom of this candle at like 150, 140, right? Like
Yeah,
you're out at 220 at the top, but you get underwater pretty damn fast in this thing. And
the
I wouldn't expect that because it maintained the level, right? Of,
yeah.
I don't know. It seems like it wouldn't have gave it all back to me.
The flow on it is bearish right now because of how hard it ran, I think. And it's like its put to call ratio is not horrible. It's 0.92, but that's not really what you want to see. I think mostly what the most bearish activity on it is actually whales selling calls, which tells me that it might trade sideways or pull back a bit to start to open the week.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 25, it looks like it's going to reject. 20, well, it's 26 really, but
Yeah,
25,
yeah.
84. It looks like it's going to reject. And what I guess in my head is like if you bought this call at the perfect time, which would have been um, pretty much on the open spike when it did hit 25, right? When it went over 25.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you would still have been down if you held the position.
Right.
That's what but
Uh,
the stock closed at 23. So I bought a put on the chart. I'm going from the TA side, right? Because that's where my brain's
yeah.
at. But on the chart, I bought it at 25, and I lost money, and it's $2 cheaper. The stock is.
You kept it the whole time?
Well, that's usually when people fuck up, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. That's 100%. That's the problem, right? Is because I held it
Mhm.
too long in the setup that we're trying to trade. Just because,
Right.
I mean, you just said it yourself. This is probably going down more, right? But that option
Yeah.
contract is going to lose value unless it's a substantial move down, it sounds like.
Correct. Yes. That's what you would need. because you're buying it when the IV is high. You ideally want to buy options when the IV is low, and then the IV pumps the value. If you
So
buy it when the IV is high, and now that we're through earnings,
okay, so
that
that would probably have been the wrong time to buy because of the activity around the stock, the
yeah,
options.
because it was so shocking the run it had off earnings that the IV was probably over 200.
So
And you want the dust to settle, because if you play it Monday,
that's what I was gonna ask.
it,
Same thing
it,
happens Monday. I'm probably in a better position.
exactly, because the dust is kind of settled on it, and you're going to see the option price move with the price of the stock more consistently
So shorting
from
this
here.
off 25 is probably still a good idea.
Yes,
That's
yes.
that's a, thank you for that, Claire. I bet that right there will help a lot of people because that just did not make sense to me that it
Oh
dropped.
yeah, you see that's a question that pops up. It's like, hey, I've got this put, the stock went down, but my option didn't go up. What's the deal? And that's usually it. That it's a little more going on than just the underlying, especially on something as volatile as this one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because
Mhm.
that didn't make much sense. Where are you on the weed place? I like Clever and CGC. Clever off $1 and CGC because they had some earnings, I believe, or partnership news.
Yes, I like those two, and the other one I like it's
Yeah, Clever's turning the weekly, or excuse me,
uh,
CGC's turning the weekly.
GRWG is
Yes, yeah.
the one I like too.
Are these kind of
Uh,
like wait and sees, or are they just kind of GRDW?
they'll no, well they're wait and sees for like a big move, like we'll have a weed day based on news, but they will trade with the market to some extent if the market's favorable. They have some pretty big gaps to fill, so
Agreed. Okay.
yeah,
Do you want to put ARFM on the hot list?
yes, yeah, we'll put those weed plays and the AFRM. Well, and let's. What were your Let me see. So you had Clever or whatever
Yeah.
Clover, Clever, yes,
CLVR and CGC.
CGC. Okay, all right, CGC, and I'm gonna add ROG and Affirm.
And that's it's
Great.
GR. Is it GRGW? GRWG?
RWG.
WG. Yeah. That's in a way better spot. That's another one where you first time I was like, this chart's not great, and now I like it. Um, it's in a way better
Yeah,
spot.
that flush on earnings was extreme.
Yeah, I like this way better now. It just offers a lot more. Um, we have AMRS. What do you think about AMC right now?
I actually I kind of like it. So
I'm with you.
the
1150. Back to 17. What are you seeing?
yeah, that's 17, 17, 18,
Do we dare?
20 potentially. But yeah, what you'll get is on those big spikes, they'll start loading up on way out of the money stuff because retail floods into it. And this is actually how Goose plays GME, where when it starts to run, you go like a month or two out with some strike that's crazy, like 150, and it will go up 30, 50% just because everyone floods into it.
Do we put it on the hot list or do we just call it out
Let's
once?
Yeah, let's do it. No, let's do it. Hot
Let's
list.
do it. Do it. Don't just take
Go.
all of these because my list is long here. You gotta be critical. We're only in
Oh
the
my God, AMC on the hot list.
it's
Full
in
port
full port.
4 a.m.
Um, we talked about bro. Have do you are you on can at all?
Yes, yeah. Um, can is interesting because it's um it's crypto dependent, but it also if the Chinese stocks are going, it's going to go too. So it basically has two catalysts that on a great China day it'll be good, and on a good crypto day it'll be good. So I like that kind of double exposure.
And I like the 3 to 4 play here. Just this, like, in general. We do have the ER on the 19th, so like Friday. So maybe they'll run up to ER. Um,
Yeah.
do you get option read on this thing?
Yeah, I do. That's what got me into it originally.
It
So
just
yeah, the
fits too
options
much.
five stands out right now.
It fits too much. Like again, Bitcoin, Chinese ADR. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep it. What do you Clove? Did that move happen? That was perfect.
It's got I already had it on the hot list. Yeah, $4. It's gonna go to $4. I don't know when, but June, July. Has some meme appeal.
Yeah, I agree. Um, that's yours. I just want to know your opinion on this. CCJ.
Yeah, I'm big time bullish on uranium this week. Pick one.
This one's great, especially if you got 25s.
Yep, that's the number. And I mean, it really, I talked about that in that video I posted today. When in the energy sector, uranium can stand out given what oil is doing. That, that's a really good sign where it's kind of the most bullish subsector within energy, even though olive oil is bullish. That's really strong.
Mm. Did you check Funco?
And I hadn't gotten to that yet. Let me do it. This is like the little action figures Funko. That's what this
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So they had like a not a distribution problem, but like a warehouse problem. They're from up here, so I kind of know a little bit about them. They had a distribution warehouse problem, like where they had to like rent shit all over the place. And I think in like January, February, they announced that they bought some stuff in Arizona that was like centralized, and they were moving everything down there besides the main headquarters because it's a historical building type thing. So that's starting to come out in their ERs. But I was getting the hits back there off of it when we first went to 20, and then the market kind of took over, and then this ER did the same thing again. Um,
I've got floated 25 in June.
okay. That was more personal. I don't think we should put it on the hot list, but
Okay.
it's a good, yeah, yeah. It's a good setup, especially if it's easy to trade on that side. Just keep an eye on it, especially on your side. MGM. Can love it here.
$40 mean anything to you?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, 40 C is the one.
I'm putting it on.
All
Yeah, I like where they're going. Their report was great. Their guidance was good. Um, oh, 9. I don't know if you get a flow rate on this one. Yeah, that's off of it's just my crappy energies.
Yeah.
They're easy to play.
I don't have enough volume and options to say for sure, but
yeah. Nikola. I can just note it. It's fine, P.
yeah, that was actually in our collab DMs.
Yeah, you said A plus.
It is. In fact, I think I meant to actually include it. So yeah, this is 8C is what stands out in June.
Love it. Play we did. Roll up. Were you on Rivian?
Let me see. Yeah, I was trading it almost every day, and then I kind of stepped out of it when it plummeted. So Rivian is
through the ER.
leaning bullish right now, and
You got 35s.
got 30. I've got September 40C
Yeah,
stands out.
We'll put it on there.
Yeah.
And then, what about? Did you look at
Great.
Tell?
No, I haven't today. Let me see.
Tell is it's got like a perfect higher low right here, off 4, and then the range
Yeah,
back to like 6.
pretty bullish across the board to 5 in July.
Did it look like it did last time? You called this way low.
Yeah, right. It's good. It's good to go back to test 6 probably.
All right, let's put it on here.
Penetrate the sector of that.
I love that from a TA standpoint. It's beautiful. And then last one. Um, shit, I lied. I got a couple more. SoFi.
SoFi has really really strong volume every day, and it is probably going to pull back a bit to start the week. So I wouldn't necessarily want anyone to jump into it, but 8C this week does stand out. We'll see if there's any follow through on that.
Yeah, I have. When this thing breaks 7, I think it's going to move a little bit. 9.
My old channel on this, I don't know if there was like that 14 to
Yeah.
24. It did that a few times and then just collapsed.
Yeah, I had that. The 13 is the only line I've had on the chart, and after that failed, it kind of has. Again, when you break 10, it's just no man's land. Those have big psychological levels. Um, five held though, right? 555. No, 5 held 499.
Yeah.
Let's just wait and see on that. Um, do you ever look at Six Flags?
No, I never have. Do they have earnings
hammered.
or
They did. It
they're
got hammered, like just crushed.
Oh man, yeah. Wow. No, it's never been on my option radar. I'd have to dig into it.
Check it out because
Check it out. Let's see.
it's got some ranges. It's got some ranges now. It just the report wasn't great. I'll give it that, but man, for something that's just kind of channeled for such a long time, to take a haircut like that is, we're almost 40%.
Yeah, the not a lot of volume and options on this one. But 30 and 35 do stand out as levels for June 17th.
Interesting. I keep an eye on it. I'm just curious because this seems like it should be. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
Seems like
they've got a bunch of theme parks and
yeah, everyone knows about Six
like
Flags.
summer should be pretty good for that kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone knows who they are. XPEV.
Yeah, I need to get back into this one.
Yeah, you do. This thing has monster moves when it moves too. It's another ADR though, with the flying. It's a flying car ADR.
Yeah. Let's see. So 25 to 30 is like the channel it seems like the options want to take it to.
Yeah, I have 20 to 30 on my end. Is it now or summertime?
It's mostly summer, like June.
Let's check on this next week after this. When's this? Hold on. Oh, dang it. 23rd. Let's check this after the 23rd for ER because they're a Chinese company. I'm sure that's not going to go over great.
Yeah.
All right, that's about it. Let's do some shop talk. What do you look? You got anything? First thing on my list would be just charts in general that are in spots that have been good before that kind of held that level. Lucid kind of stood out to me.
Yeah, I do like Lucid. So what I see on Lucid is $25 is the number that stands out.
Yeah, and I think it's 20. Well, we no, sorry, 17. The 1777 to 26 was kind of like the original channel, but this was again successful. This is where we played it. Not that we're gonna get a $55 move before, but this is down where we got it before. 55, 25 would be half of 55. We'll take it. Volume profile's kind of on that level. They just run into the supply chain, but these guys get orders. They have the Saudi deal for was it 100,000 vehicles as well. They're kind of
Yeah.
on the hook for. So, yeah, no, I like it. It's funny how people don't like they won't talk about this until it probably gets to 23, 24, and then everyone will be like, "If we going to 50 again?"
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
you just got a 50% move that you missed. Um,
Right, right. I'm looking at cybersecurity again. Net, I see a move to 80 in the next month or so.
would I put
And
net like with Datadog and CrowdStrike?
yeah,
Okay.
that's my grouping. Datadog's the one I have listed for tomorrow on my options watch list
I
to
just
trade either upside or downside.
all Datadog and CrowdStrike are on great spots on the chart. They're on the lower part of the channels that we had established, and they're respecting those. And with what's happened in the market last couple weeks, that's kind of what you want to see. So um,
Yeah,
I have green on weekly. My RSI is up on the daily, and then I'm green on the short period of time on Datadog. Uh, it was definitely the better of the setups. Um, Crowd hasn't confirmed on the weekly, but the rest of it looked pretty good. But they're both again on the lines that we've had on the chart for 2 months. Um,
yeah.
love to see it. How far do you have Crowd up? It's pretty gappy stock. Like back to 180 even.
Yeah, 180 leaps to 220.
Yeah, they have earnings next month. 6-2.
Yep.
They're my favorite company, but Datadog's my favorite chart now. It's kind of
Right.
interesting.
Yeah, that's
Interesting. Or
Hey,
does
what do you got on TTWO? They have earnings
TTWO.
coming up.
Take two. I was like, I know this dang chart. Let me go to my regular. Golly, $100. That's going to be huge coming off this earnings. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we at? Where are we at? On 120 really is where it should be. But yeah, if you break
It,
that if you break that 100p, like that could go 70, 65, before it really stops. Um,
yeah, I'm thinking they might have one of those earnings collapses. But it'd be good to play in the aftermath. So we got another shot at one of those if we want to take it with this one.
yeah, because I mean, you got to go back to like 17 for hundreds. like
They
you
make
got
what Grand Theft Auto games, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, they have a pretty extensive lineup, but I kind of what you the conversation you walked into this morning was I was kind of using it on an EV sector, but you can do it with the video games. Like the really good companies usually get acquired before they go to public offering. Like the people that go to public offerings are the ones. I mean, they need money usually. That's why you go to. That's why you trade. That's why you get stock on your business, right? You're using it as a loan. Um, but they would have been acquired if they were like elite, or they would have figured it out and been super profitable. So they're usually not the greatest companies. They're kind of the middle of the pack people that are they're good enough to succeed, but they're not good enough to get a ton of partnerships or acquired by a company. And the video game's easy. You look at like Bungie and stuff like that. Those
Right.
companies, they just got picked up instantly, and they switched hands 3 or 4 times at this point in time. What's the other one? Whoever made the Unreal Engine people is another
Mhm.
one. Roblox would be the other end of it. Like they look to kind of like break the mold, right, and do it on their own. They need money, but they didn't want to sell their company. Um,
Right.
so I like these. I mean, they're not going anywhere. Um, I don't know what they have in their pipeline for a catalyst that would push them higher. But the $100 level with them being 225 or whatever seems like a great spot. Um, Even back to
Yeah.
120. I think that you're gonna flush a little more though.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Do you get flow reads on this, or are you just seeing the ER?
Yeah, so the what jumps out at me in the options side is like 520 100p, and then bearish, very bearish sold calls at 110 and 125 for this week.
Yeah,
Like not 90%. Those chains are 90% bearish. So I would not be optimistic going into earnings. I don't quite like well, Unity last week was an example where it was so overwhelmingly bearish that I went ahead and threw $600 at earnings, and you know came out huge on it. But this one isn't quite to that extent. But it's the sold calls tell me that the whales are pretty confident that it's either going to fall or it's not going to hold any gains, and those contracts will be worthless.
it's interesting that I have our high RSI and sell off here too, just from what you're saying. If I was gonna pick a spot out of the 87 level, so the 90 would be, I would play down to there.
Mm.
Because if it does break 100, I think that's where your first test would be, especially in a bad news pre-market environment.
Yeah,
Um,
and that actually with you, what happened was I mean it got crushed. It came back a little bit up into that CPI data, but when the CPI data was bad, everything just cratered it open. And so I kind of got I made like an extra like $600 per contract just based on that. And so and that is a event outside of the earnings itself. That's just the market. So
yeah,
that's where kind of luck comes in
and I'm a
on those.
I'm a I'm a gamer. I don't know if you're a gamer, but I can't think of anything like they've done recently. That they're printing money off of. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah, my son's a big gamer. I play those with him, and kind of a Nintendo guy, and old school Nintendo is what I mostly play still.
nice, nice,
Yeah,
nice. Catch Professor on the RC Pro Am.
exactly. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, that's my favorite. Um, yeah, and again, not maybe the sector in general, kind of the other end of the reopening, right? Like video games were hot during COVID, kind of like Zoom and all that stuff. When you need that interaction, people want to travel right now. People want to go outside, um, stuff like that. So
Yeah. Um, I'm kind of interested to see. Apple had a horrible week and then had a nice day, a nice day Friday. So you kind of had this, but really the story was the growth stocks were the ones that had that kind of explosive move. And then you had, I put Amazon in my notes. I never do that, and it
yeah,
went up. It went up 5%. That has when once that splits, that's going to be playable for
I'm
options.
trying. I'm
And
trying to buy it at 2.
Yeah.
I should have bought it at 21, but I really am. I think that's a great, like, you're gonna kill it if you're first to the table on them options. Those premiums are gonna be great.
Yeah, and I mean, have you ever read how when you look at the valuation of Amazon, the how much AWS is worth
Yeah,
compared to
yeah,
everything else they do?
yeah.
I mean, and that really like when people talk about Tesla as a data company, like that cloud, that Amazon cloud, is such a huge part of what
I should make
everybody.
Smokey the Clown come talk about it because he built that shit straight
Oh
up.
yeah,
Yeah, he worked for the web services, and I mean not like 100% of it. I think he was like in the payment. The way he always explained it to me is like when you press the button to buy or sell, it works because of me. That's kind of what he. That's kind of the way he put it. Um,
yeah, and I've seen too, and you'll see it flash really fast. But like when you buy something on a website, you'll see AWS pop up
yeah, that's
briefly in the
him.
little thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's totally him. And like, yeah, it's that middleman. So like, he just knows a lot about uh, what the where it's going as far as like the revenue stream of it, right? Like, kind of knows who they're dealing with and how much money that brought in and stuff like that. Um, Basically, because they started paying those guys real well too. Um,
yeah.
uh, but now he just went to Intel, I believe. I think that's who it is, because they're trying to copy them, and they're scalping all of the AWS people for a substantial amount more because they need
Right.
that. They want to do the same thing basically. But yeah, no, that Amazon ain't going nowhere. They will pivot again. Um, you got to remember they started off just selling books out of a
Right.
basement. Like, yeah, I would love to get um, you know enough to sell covered calls and then kind of learn how to do that successfully. Because it should grow over the 10-year period, right? Like substantially. Again, it's not going to go anywhere. Um,
Yeah. If you're looking for something that's gonna really pop up large pre-market, it's probably wheat, WEAT. Um, India banned exports of wheat, so the wheat price. I don't know how it'll hold, but that's gonna bust through $13. It'll go to 14 or 15. That's just my educated guess on it. But
you're good on all time frames besides the weekly. I like
if
it.
you want to if you want a quick scalp, um, that might be one to look at tomorrow.
Inside bar on the day. Yeah, no, this is good chart. Um, yeah, that's yeah. If it goes, it's gonna go quick. I like it. What do you feel about Disney? Who brought that one up? Oh, we're
Oh,
getting
let me
we're
see.
getting crazy here.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is levels it hasn't seen in
Oh, a minute.
a long time. Yeah. Wow. Let me see if what the flow is on Disney. I don't always like how the options move on it, but see what the flow's at.
I mean, we could get to the 80, but 100 should hold.
90p is possible.
Really, this
That's one.
isn't
That's
still dip.
contract. I mean, God, Disney. I might just
Yes, say it.
shares it.
Yeah,
I mean,
say it.
seriously, like, it's one of those dividend aristocrats stocks. They're consistent with that,
Let me pull the
and
weekly again. Like, it's just crazy.
company's not going anywhere.
Well, and as people like to talk about that kind of stuff a lot, but they are like the only one I think it really pertains to. But their umbrella, as they call it, is
Yeah.
fucking mass. This is ESPN. This is
Right.
Marvel.
Right.
This is Star Wars. This is.
Yeah.
I mean, what you are getting when you invest in Disney is massive. It's not just some amusement parks. It's not even close. Um,
Yeah.
So like people say that all the time. Well, they got a good umbrella. No, they don't. Disney has a great. They invented the umbrella because
Right,
they're
right. My take on it, not not financial advice, but um, if you want to own Disney, just have a plan around here. But you don't have to rush into it because I don't think it's gonna just rocket without you or anything. But
no, they'll move on acquiring something. That's the only time you're going to get that kind of move. If they
yeah,
buy, if they buy something, um, that's a name too. They're gonna buy something. Don't get me wrong, whether it's a name or not. Like if they bought Roblox or something like that,
yeah,
that'll get the people going.
yeah. I mean, it's the company. It's the Warren Buffett soundbite where you're when you buy a stock, you're buying a company, and you should plan to hold it for however many years and not care about daily price movements. I mean, it's not true of all stocks, but this is one where I think you'll be pretty good,
If you had
especially
to,
down.
if you, with that statement you just made, what's your top three?
Johnson and Johnson and mm, Apple,
Yeah,
and let me see. Top two are kind of easy for me. For me, it's Mo.
nice.
That's my third. Yeah.
Nice. I have Disney and Apple for sure. Like hands down, you can't go wrong. And then I'd throw in like a Nvidia or something like that. Um,
Yeah, especially down
you're just not going wrong at this point in time. Yeah,
yeah, they're just companies that'll be whatever the world's got going on, they're going to be a part of it. So,
yeah. It's more risk reward ratio than a savings account, but you're just as safe as your savings account, in my opinion. Um, how did you feel about? Damn it, where'd it go? I lost it in my notes. I was just trying to. Oh yeah, like the Uber Lyft.
the what now?
Uber and Lyft
Oh, Uber and Lyft. Yeah,
on your radar or nah?
yeah. So, yes, I mean, I think they're Uber's kind of way oversold. I was looking for $20, but I got a little greedy. I saw puts wanting to take it there, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, 22 is looking like the floor and options on Uber. And that to me is a $30 stock, 30, 35, where it kind of where it should be. Maybe back up to 40. I don't know if it'll get it to that
I got 30
six
all
the
day.
60 or
30,
something, but
30 all day.
yeah. And
I think
then
we can dip, like you're saying, though, down into the. I think the dip is in the 2018 range, but if the flow's saying different, that's usually telling.
yeah, well, it that the flow was saying that, and then they kind of the whales sort of took a loss on that. Um, Lyft is a little bit more dicey to me. I could see
Agree.
like $17. Um, there are put leaps out to $15, which would I think be its COVID low.
Yeah,
So
1450 p.
yeah, yeah. Um, be really interested if it tested that.
They
But
their report was not good.
yeah, yeah. They actually they came out first, and
Yeah,
they took Uber down with them,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then Uber switched their earnings to pre-market, and their earnings were a little better. And
Better,
yeah,
yeah. I like it. Um, yeah, that's about all I got. I mean, I got social plays, but we don't really need to go over. Don't really need to go over the socials. Yeah, yep. Good. You got anything else? I'm kind of on a little tight
um,
time game today, but I got.
oh no,
Why you got me
hey,
here?
talk me out of trading OTCs. I'm actually not going to, but I hear people talking about them.
Well,
So
there's fees on them. First of all,
what's that?
you got fees on them.
Yeah, that's a good reason not to.
Well, that's all. That's you know me, P. I mean, who you talking to? um, I it's no different. I don't. I can only be blunt, and I'm not trying to be mean or say it the wrong way, but to me, it's no different than options. You know, there's just more risk there than that fits my style. But I don't think you're in any worse of a position as long as you have the same management, right? Like if you treat it like, oh, it's my $600 put lotto, right? Like you just kind of treat it like that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I just I see some of the Twitter people like starting to get back into those, and I think on OTC alerts, you buy an OTC alert, you're just exit liquidity for whatever they're alerting,
I
and it's
can't.
even to a greater extent. Laid
I
back did that all the freaking time.
Oh,
I
I'm
saw
sure.
him.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Sure. So here's my thing with it, and I probably can say this better than I can type it, but it is Twitter is a market in itself, right? And I mean, I kind of came across it, and I use it again for what not to trade. But you have to see the rotation that these guys are going through. Like they ate off small caps in a hot market. When it went down the drain, they went to options. When the options went down the drain, they went to SPY and Tesla and large cap
right.
options.
Did you
When
see that one I sent you where the
yeah,
guy's like, "I only trade SPY now," and I've been
yeah,
watching
yeah.
that for weeks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. So so the next in the rotation, when that shit don't work for them, they're gonna go to OTC. It's just a rotation that those fuckers go to, and whether you know how to play off them or not, um, yeah, do your thing. But for me, I eat them alive in the small caps because I just get in before them. I know how they buy, and
right.
I just look for what they buy. Um, which I to be honest with you, I like when they're not in the market because stuff moves naturally and you can play it a little more traditionally. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but OTCs, yeah, I mean, again, if you have your risk management set up and you're trading a couple $100, um, I think you're fine. Um,
yeah.
the risk reward is more than I prefer, but so are
Mhm.
some options. Probably not going to move as fast as options. Um, if you have hopium, probably not for you because you will get a 300% move and people talking about it's going to $1 and they'll throw all these news stories at you. I mean, it's dirty over in that OTC. I remember the Tom Brady water last year, right?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, if you just trade percentages like you, yeah, it's probably great for a guy like you because you don't care.
Right, right,
um, you're 20% and you're out, right? Like you're scaling out, you're managing position probably better than anyone I know. So
right. They move that fast too. They move like options, so it is a good comparison.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, probably less downside, right? Because you don't have the beta, thea, IO, all that crap, right? Like you don't have the
yeah,
time
yeah,
attrition. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The the whales site is getting into them a bit in terms of their some of their data they throw at them. So I'm going to
They
look into it.
they
But
don't have options, correct? I'm not wrong on that, right?
no,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Let me know how it goes. I always
yeah,
got
yeah.
I always got a couple $100. You know, like that's my option thing right now is
We'll
$200
go
over the max. So
100 to a million challenge. Let's do it.
we are not doing the challenge. Uh,
All right, yeah. So I have most of my notes up already. Well, I need to do my sector notes. I have some new YouTube stuff up. I'll be doing the live stream tomorrow. My semester is in the books, so you guys will get the full complement of what I do. Looking forward to that. And yeah, we'll just go from there. I'll keep an eye on futures and crypto today, and everybody enjoy their Sunday.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, P. I got a game, so my stuff will be out a little bit later. Um, but yeah, same thing. Appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for your time. Good stuff, P.
All right, take care.
Thanks, all.
Have a good day.